I don't think we should have the illusion that individual consumers by themselves can solve this problem. We live in a corporate world, and often the choices we have are pretty limited in terms of living a life that's rational and just in terms of how we buy our products. But there is some room to make some differences in this area, and in the areas of coffee production, in the area of buying products, clothing, things like that. I think consumers should take more responsibility for asking themselves, who made this stuff? Where did they come from? What are the conditions of their life?
Yeah, it started out with a local deli, and now it's Starbucks. So
Yeah.
things change. Every time somebody goes out, it seems like a corporate place goes in. That's the way it just is dotted this whole street with, borders. And I'm not saying it's bad or good.
Yeah.
It's different. Yay, yay capitalism.
Yeah.
I mean, what can you do,
Can't do too much about it, really.
Yeah.
Like, every time you spend $1, it doesn't matter if you take it to the old Chinese store down the corner or a big corporation, it's still their money. And as long as you're spending their money, they're in control.
Within the degree that it's possible, it's always better when people shop locally and buy products that have been made or produced or at least finished in some way in the local market. For example, in coffee production, if somebody's producing coffee, they're not going to grow it in Santa Cruz, so you can't have completely local coffee production.
Like busting up a Starbucks. Busting up a Starbucks. Busting up a Starbucks. Busting up a Starbucks. This bitter drink has made you drunk. The thoughts you think.
Do you buy a lot of coffee?
Yeah,
And if
I
so-
go like probably when I'm downtown. I probably go twice a day because I work here. So
What are you drinking right there?
a chai with no water.
So is that your thing you get all the time?
Yeah, they pretty much know me there because I get the same thing every time.
What went through my mind was how good it tastes.
Yeah?
Yeah,
So it does taste really good.
yeah, I come and buy it every day.
The conventional way that coffee is produced, distributed, and sold here in the United States involves a huge number of middlemen who basically take whatever profit there is in the system out of it, and the people who are actually producing the coffee, growing it, mostly in Latin America or in Africa or other parts of the planet, receive a very small percentage of the actual price that we pay for a cup of coffee.
Conventionally grown coffee and conventionally sold in the market, so like Folgers, for example, the farmers sell their raw beans. It goes to someone who transports the beans from one place to another.
Grown in Colombia, shipped to New York, roasted there, shipped across, or shipped to Japan, shipped back here. So aside from just the sort of waste of energy that's involved in shipping stuff all over the place in different directions, there's really a problem when the corporation that's producing this stuff takes all the profits out of a local community and doesn't return it.
It gets sold to a roaster, and then the roaster sells it to a distributor, and then the distributor distributes it to stores who have to make a profit on it as well. And so by the time it gets to the consumer, they're paying the same price for it, but it's gone through so many different steps that when you go all the way back to the amount that the farmer got at the start, it's so little.
I think there's a real question for consumers whether we might be willing to pay a small amount more, not doubling the price of the coffee, but a small amount more to get coffee where we know what the conditions are, where it's actually grown, and that the people that are doing the work to produce the coffee will have sustainable lives as a result of our purchase decision.
CAN is a nonprofit and student organization based up at UCSC, and we have a direct relationship with 3 different coffee cooperatives down in Central America, and we import their coffee and sell it directly to the consumer, eliminating the middlemen in the process. It's actually better than fair trade coffee, so we send researchers and students down there to do internships and field studies at the cooperatives, so it's a reciprocal relationship.
You know, I think this isn't just a matter of theory. I think we know from a lot of practical experience now that when consumers do get organized and begin to care about where the products they purchase come from and have more concern for the conditions of life of the people doing that work, that you can make a difference.